Hello friends and welcome. I know many of you are new to Pathfinder 2nd Edition and trying out the game. You might be curious about how to build a Pathfinder 2nd Edition character. Hopefully this video will give you some insight into that. I want to let you know that I did not script out this video. I went completely off the cuff. I thought that might be helpful to you so you can kind of see how my mind works as I'm creating the character. Also, I want to be upfront and honest with you that I am not a min-maxer. I like to create our characters based on flavor and narrative. I like to go fiction first. So there might be some more optimized decisions than the ones that I'm making here. I would like to know from you actually how you would go about building this character. But first we need a concept. Now your concept for your character can come from a variety of sources. I do encourage you to ask your GM what kind of game you're going to be playing, what are some of the themes, what is the setting for your game. But your ideas can come from almost anywhere. Today's character, we're going to build off of this image here of this goblin that's chewing a giant pickle. You see he has some cookware in his back. So I'm thinking some kind of crazy goblin that likes to cook a bunch of weird food back in the kitchen and come up with all kinds of strange concoctions. So let's get right into it. Let's build a character for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Now we have a concept. We're going to go into actually building the character. I'm going to be using the Path Builder 2 app, which is a fantastic app, especially for new players, and it also helps to explain things here on the screen. So we're going to go over to New Character. We'll click on it, and we'll have this little pop-up that comes up. So it gives us a few options. Battle Zoo is a third-party publisher, which is very popular, but we're going to leave that unchecked for now. Then it also says allow adventure paths. There are certain options in adventure paths. Let's leave that open. We're gonna keep that checked. Manage rule books and view other options gives us different ways to modify and change the options we have for character building. So we're going to leave everything as it is, and we're going to hit get started. The first question that it asks us is our character name. We'll go in here, we'll click that button, and we'll just call him Bubba for now. We can always change that later when we come up with a better name. It'll ask us where we want to save it. So we're going to put it in our local storage. So save to local folder. Okay, Ancestry is also known as your race in other TTRPGs. You see here we have common, uncommon, rare, or you can select all ancestries. I'll just show you all ancestries that we have available to us. And as you can see, there are quite a bit. So anything uncommon or rare, you might want to talk to your GM to see what is allowed in their game. Most of the time, any of the common ancestries will be allowed. And we're looking at building a goblin. So we're going to click on goblin here. As you can see here, a goblin starts off with the 6 hit points. Their size is small. Their speed is 25 feet. You get an ability boost by default to dexterity, charisma, and 1 free choice. And you get an ability flaw to your wisdom. Languages, all goblins start off speaking Common and Goblin, and you get additional languages based on your intelligence modifier. And you also start off with dark vision, which is very helpful in those deep dark caverns. So we're going to hit accept. So next it asks us about our background. Now we said we wanted to have a goblin that cooked all kinds of weird things and ate weird things. So a barkeep might work, but let's see if there's something that might be a little bit better for us. I'm going to click on background, and there is quite a bit of backgrounds to choose from as well. just to give you an idea. But there is this one said cook right here, so let's see what it says. You grew up in the kitchens of a tavern or other dining establishment and excelled there, becoming an exceptional cook. Baking, cooking, a little brewing on the side. You've spent a lot of time out of sight. It's about time you went out into the world to catch some sights of yourself. You get to choose 2 ability boosts. One must be either Constitution or Intelligence, and one is a free ability boost. You are trained in Survival and Cooking lore, and you gain the Seasoned skill feat. That sounds all great. You might not know what all of that does right at the moment, but that's okay. We'll get to there. We're going to hit Accept. And again, we can change any of these options later to better modify and customize your character to exactly what you want. Next choice is Class. It has a default class of Fighter, which might work. Let's look at that and see what that gives us. Okay, so getting straight into the mechanics of it, you can pick either Strength or Dexterity to be your key ability. It gives you another 10 hit points plus your Constitution modifier, and you add that every time you level up. So that's pretty good. Perception is Expert, Expert in Fortitude, Expert in Reflex, Trained in Will saves. You can become trained in your choice of either Acrobatics or Athletics, and trained in a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your Intelligence modifier. You can see there for Fighter, they actually begin as Expert in Simple Weapons and Expert in Martial Weapons, Trained in Advanced Weapons, and Expert in Unarmed Attacks. This makes fighters very good at fighting, oddly enough. They are probably the best with any kind of weapon in their hand. But I don't know if that's exactly what we want for our character. So we're looking at Alchemist, perhaps. Would Alchemist fit what we're looking for? So it says, there is no sight more beautiful to you than a strange brew bubbling in a beaker, and you consume your ingenious elixirs with abandon. Now that flavor sounds a lot like what we're looking for. Your key ability is Intelligence. Your hit points not as much as a fighter, with 8 plus your Constitution modifier. You're trained in Perception. You're Expert at Fortitude, Expert at Reflex, Trained in Will. Okay, that's pretty much the same there with the fighter. Here you're trained in Crafting, which would actually help with our cooking and making things in the kitchen. Trained in a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your Intelligence modifier. That's about the same there, but remember we're getting a higher Intelligence here. Trained with Simple Weapons, trained in Alchemical Bombs, and trained in Unarmed Attacks. Kind of like the idea of, someone in the kitchen brewing up all kinds of weird stuff. So let's stick with Alchemist. Let's go with that. That the next step over here says Ability Boost 4. That means we get to pick 4 ability boosts here to upgrade, to put a boost in. And you'll notice we haven't rolled any dice or anything, done any point-by systems. It's automatically adding options to us to boost our different abilities here. So if you look up at the top, we have the Ancestry boost. So these are the boosts that we get from being a goblin. So the standard abilities section, we have a boost to our dexterity, we have a boost to our charisma, and a minus to our wisdom. And we get to pick one of these as a free choice to also boost. Now we're looking at being an alchemist, and alchemists rely a lot on intelligence. However, if we want to throw bombs, we want to have a good dexterity as well. So we're already getting a dexterity from being a goblin, so let's add intelligence here as well. Right, so now we have a boost to intelligence, a boost to dexterity, and a boost to charisma just for being a goblin. We do get a flaw to our wisdom. Looking at our background, now remember we had a cook. So with that we could boost our constitution or our intelligence, and we want to have that good intelligence. So we're going to boost intelligence here, and we're also going to boost, we're not as reliant on strength, we're going to go into dexterity. We want to be able to throw those bombs pretty good. Okay, and we also get a boost to intelligence because of our class. Now we're looking pretty good here. We do want to have a little bit of constitution just in case we do get hit. And wisdom at a -1. We kind of don't want a negative in here, so let's put a boost in wisdom as well. Now we can boost up our intelligence and boost up our dexterity even more. So now we don't have much in strength. So that might be a bit of an issue. We might want to think about changing that. Our constitution is 12, which is still kind of low, but we want to stay away from the front lines if possible. Our wisdom is 10, so we're not very wise. Dexterity and our intelligence are really good, and our charisma is pretty good. So I think we're going to stick with that. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that for now. You remember our class gave us training and skills equal to 3 plus our intelligence modifier. Now our intelligence modifier is 4, so we have skills training 7 here. So let's click on that and we'll look at the different skills available to us. Already, as being an alchemist, we are trained in crafting, and we are trained in survival as well. And as being a cook, we get the cooking lore. Now what trained means is that we get a +2 plus our level plus the associated ability score. So as you can see here, training and cooking, we have a +4 to our intelligence. We are level 1, and then we add a +2 here because we're trained, for a grand total of 7. Okay, so intimidation we're not trained in at all, but we do have a +1 in charisma, so that means our intimidation is a +1. Now this will not increase just because we level up. However, if we are trained, such as in cooking lore, it is plus your level, so this would automatically go up to level 8 when we get to our next level. So training is very important. So that's for trained. When you go up to expert, as we'll get to later levels, you can have a +4 plus your level plus your ability modifier. So that is how proficiency works, and you have trained, expert, master, and legendary. But we're going to be just trained here at first level. So let's look at the different skills that we have and what do we want to pick for our little goblin friend. Well, he is very dexterous. I think it makes sense for him to be skilled in acrobatics. So we'll pick acrobatics. Now you see that boost already goes to a +6 in acrobatics. Athletics, he's not very strong, so we might want to actually put him trained in athletics just to give him a little bit of an edge. Right now he has a +0. If we put it to trained, he becomes a +3 because it's trained is a +2 plus your level. So he's got a +3 in his athletics, so he's not completely a weakling. Crafting is already checked as trained, and we can't go any higher. So let's think about deception. Is he going to be a deceptive goblin? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be deceptive. I think he's going to be more friendly. I think he's going to try to make friends with everybody. He's going to try to cook everybody a good meal. we're going to put trained in diplomacy here. Medicine would be good as well. So we're going to put trained in medicine. Nature and occultism, probably not. Performance, goblins like their songs. We're going to say yes to performance. Society, I feel like he's, gotten around in society pretty well as a cook. Let's put trained there. Stealth is pretty typical of goblins. We can put stealth there. And thievery. I like thievery, but we don't have any more skill points remaining here. So I think we might have to not do society and put it in thievery instead. See, these are all great choices. A lot of variety that you can choose from here just in your skills and trying to think of how your character would react. And it also kind of builds into the character of your character, their personality and their motivations, their traits as to what kind of goblin we are building here. So yeah, I'm pretty good with these skills. We'll hit finished on this. It asks you about your heritage. Now each ancestry gets a variety of heritage that they can choose from. For our goblin here, the common heritages that we can choose from are Charhide Goblin, Iron Gut Goblin, Razor Tooth Goblin, Snow Goblin, Tailed Goblin, Tree Dweller, and Unbreakable. There are also versatile heritage that they can be applied to any ancestry. These include things like Aasimar or Tiefling. You can be a Goblin Tiefling if you wish, or you can be a Halfling Tiefling. The options are so many, it's hard to even count how many options there might be. But looking at Goblin, I was kind of thinking Iron Gut Goblin. Here you can subsist on food that other people consider spoiled. Nice benefit is that you can eat and drink even when you are sickened. Now, sickened is a condition that can be put on people, and it happens quite often. It gives you a penalty to most of your checks, and you can't eat or drink while you're in it, so you couldn't even drink a potion. Another thing that Iron Gut Goblin gives you is a +2 circumstance bonus to saves against afflictions that would give you the second condition. So that really helps you prevent getting sick, so it's a really good option for that. But let's look at some of the other options as well. So Charhide Goblin, you gain fire resistance. And fire comes up pretty often. Razor Tooth Goblin, that gives you a jaw attack, so you can bite people. Snow Goblin is good if you are in a environment where there's a lot of cold. Tailed Goblin gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to your athletics to climb. And it really helps you, get in up and down places. Tree Dweller helps you if you're in forested environments. Unbreakable Goblin. Now this is a fun one here. You gain 10 hit points from your ancestry instead of 6. So that would give us some more hit points there. And when you fall, you reduce the falling damage that you take. So there's quite a few options here. I think Iron Gut just adds more to the flavor of this particular goblin that we want to make. So I'm going to go with Iron Gut. Next, it asks you about your ancestry feat. Now, every character gets an ancestry feat at first level, and you get other ancestry feats as you level up even further. So you continue to evolve and you continue to grow as you level up. So Ancestry feats for Goblin. We're at first level here. If you scroll down, you'll see that there are other levels that we don't qualify for yet. Looking at level 5, level 9, level 13. So we're not quite there yet. We are at level 1. You can see that these in red we don't qualify for. For example, this bouncy goblin. It requires you to have the unbreakable goblin heritage, which we did not take. We took the iron gut heritage. So we could, change that if we wanted to, because the bouncy goblin, if you already, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to acrobatics checks to tumble through a foe's place. So that's kind of fun. But let's look at what we do qualify for. Burn It, which lets you do some more fire damage. City Scavenger, so that you get a +1 circumstance bonus to check to subsist. You can use society or survival when you subsist in a settlement. We actually did not pick society as a skill, and survival is already the default for subsisting in a settlement, and honestly it doesn't come up that often. It does depend on your game, but most of the time it subsist does not come up that often. Fang Sharpener. Now we got this because we picked Iron Gut, because prerequisites are Iron Gut or the Razor Tooth. So you have filed your teeth into jagged points, and have an unusually powerful jaw, making your mouth a dangerous weapon. If you are an Iron Gut Goblin, you gain Jaw Unarmed Attack. So hey, we can get a Jaw Unarmed Attack even though we did not pick Razor Tooth. However, if we did pick Razor Tooth, it does a 1d8 points of damage. Goblin lore. Most of your ancestries have a certain lore for that ancestry. And a lore is another skill, just like we got cooking lore. It helps us decipher and understand things around us based on that particular lore. So this would help you understand goblin culture, goblin history, that sort of thing. Goblin Scuttle. Now you'll notice this little symbol right here. This symbol is a reaction. So that gives you an action that is triggered by something. The trigger here is that an ally ends a move action adjacent to you. And what happens is you take advantage of your ally's movement to adjust your position, and you step. So that's usually a 5-foot step. So an ally comes up next to you, you can move off to the side. Goblin Song. This symbol right here, this diamond, means that it is one action. You will see other symbols later. It has 2 diamonds, meaning 2 actions, or 3 diamonds, meaning 3 actions. So this takes you 1 action, and remember you have a 3-action economy in this system. But with this, you can make a performance check. We are trained in performance, so that is good. And with a critical success, target takes a -1 status penalty to perception checks and will saves for a whole minute. On a success, -1 status penalty for 1 round. And if you do get a critical effect failure, the target is temporarily immune to the attempts to use Goblin Song for 1 hour. Goblin Weapon Familiarity. This includes things like the Horse Chopper and the Dog Slicer. Junk Tinkerer. You can craft and put stuff together. Twitchy. You are very suspicious and wary of danger, especially when you suspect someone might be leading you into an ambush. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to your armor class and saves against hazards and to all of your initiative rolls. That is pretty good. Very sneaky. So you can move 5 foot farther than when you take the sneak action. Oh, so this helps you, become a little bit more sneaky, getting in and out of places. But I kind of like twitchy. We already have somewhat low uh, health points because our constitution was not the greatest. I think twitchy might work out well for this particular character. Feat. Many classes get a feat at level 1, the exception being most of the spellcasters. But an alchemist gets a level 1 class feat, so let's look and see what is available there. Okay, sorry, that was the first time I've ever seen that pop-up come up. That was talking about archetype feats, looks like. We won't cover that in this particular video. Here for alchemists, we get the options of alchemical familiar. So we could get a familiar, kind of a homunculi. Alchemical savant. This is going to help us to identify alchemical items quickly. Farlobber. This helps us throw bombs even further. If the range increment of 30 feet instead of its usual 20 feet. That puts us even further back from the action. I think that might be good. Here we have a one action ability called Quick Bomber. You keep your bombs easy to reach pouches from which you draw without thinking. You interact to draw a bomb and strike with it. So normally it would take you one action to pull out your bomb, one action to throw it. Here you can do it all in one action. So for throwing bombs, that might be very useful. Subtle delivery. You can deliver toxins with a blowgun. Your blowgun strikes can apply injury poisons, even if they deal no damage due to the creature's resistance. If you critically succeed at an attack roll using a blowgun loaded with a dart you've poisoned, the target rolls failure on the poison's initial save. That is fantastic if we were going to look into doing poisons, which is really something I hadn't considered, but I think I'm going to forego that. So I'm thinking either Farlobber or Quick Bomber. Both of those sound really good. Oh, but I do like alchemical familiars too. But I think in this build, I'm going to go with Quick Bomber. Okay, so next is our research field. Now this is sort of the subclass for Alchemist. So let's click on research field, see what is available to us. Okay, so the bomber. The bomber specializes in creating and throwing bombs. You start with a formula for 2 first-level alchemical bombs in your formula book, in addition to the other formulas that we're going to get. When throwing an alchemical bomb with the splash trait, you can deal splash damage to only your primary target instead of the usual splash area. Now, what happens here is usually when you throw a bomb, it gives you a splash radius of everything within 5 feet of that target. So that could include allies. So this prevents you from friendly fire with your splash damage. Corrosion is a medical field. This one gives you common first level elixirs with the healing trait. This has been expanded here recently, so there are more healing trait formulas available now, and especially with treasure vaults. So that's good if you need a healer in the party. Mutanogen. These are elixirs that change your physical being. It's kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde idea that changes you in some way. A lot of times they have a drawback, but they also give you a benefit. And toxicologist. So this is looking at that poison again, right? So is that something that we want to do? I'm not feeling toxicology. I think we're gonna go with either bomber or mutagen. I think bomber. I think we're gonna go bomber. We're gonna stay in the back lines. We'll use that quick bomber feats. I think this will be a good offensive idea here. These buttons down here, these are things that we've already acquired just from our previous decisions. So there's advanced alchemy, which is something that every alchemist gets. Helps us to create alchemical items based on our infused reagents, which we get. So we can craft alchemical items for free a limited number of times per day. Alchemy is just basically what alchemy is. You understand the complexities and interactions of natural and unnatural substances. Get a bit of flavor text there. We can craft things with the alchemical traits. We have dark vision. Well, you'll notice that dark vision does not have a range limit like it does in some other editions. You can see in darkness and in dim light just as well as you can see in the bright light. Though your vision in darkness is black and white, I've never seen that stipulation actually come up in game. But if you have to cut the red or the blue wire and it's dark, you can't tell which one it is. It's all black and white. You get a formula book. This is where you're going to store all of your recipes, all your formulas for your alchemical items. Infused reagents, that's basically what I was just mentioning earlier. You do get infused reagents equal to your level plus your intelligence modifier. So remember, our intelligence modifier is a +4. So already we have 5 infused reagents we can use to create alchemical items, and they do reset at the beginning of each day. So these are alchemical items that only last for 24 hours. So it's almost like spells for a spellcaster that you need to prepare every day. This is kind of in that same way of thinking. Now, quick alchemy, you see here, has the action tab. So this is going to cost you 1 action. It costs you 1 batch of your infused reagents. You have the alchemical tools and the formula for the alchemical item that you are going to create, and you have to have a free hand. So a lot of requirements there, but we're planning for this. We're alchemists. This is something we do. You swiftly mix up a short-lived alchemical item to use at a moment's notice. You create a single alchemical consumable item, your advanced alchemy level or lower, so your class level, that is within your formula book without having to spend the monetary costs and alchemical reagents, and you don't need to attempt a crafting check. You just make it. The item has the infused trait, but remains potent only until the start of your next turn. So this is something you want to create and use immediately. Alchemical crafting, we can do it the old-fashioned way of spending some time and creating alchemical items. We also get seasoned, which we got that from our background. You get a +1 circumstance bonus check to craft food and drink, including potions. If you are a master in one of the prerequisite skills, this bonus becomes a +2. So here we are. We're in the back kitchen. We can create food and drink, and maybe even those alchemical formulas that we're talking about before, as long as it's something that you drink. Right. So we're doing pretty good here. We've got a lot of our options taken care of here. We're gonna reduce some of this just to make it fit a little bit better on the screen. All right, so we've got Bubba, our cook turned bomber, an iron gut goblin who's twitchy. So I think we're doing pretty good there. We're gonna go over here at the top. Gonna go over to gear, because in gear we're going to buy our weapons and our armor, so we can get our defense and our offense taken care of there. So as a first level character, we're going to start off here with 15 gold. To add gear, we're just going to click here to add gear. Now, I did want to show you that here in Path Builder, there is kits. So you scroll down here to where it says kit. You see kits for a variety of the classes. I don't think every class has one. But I do know that Alchemist does. So if you look at it, it's going to cost you 842 copper, which is basically going to be a little bit over 8 gold. The bulk, you can only carry so much bulk before you become encumbered. That's how they do our encumbrance here in Pathfinder. It's not weight exactly, but how bulky and how how much room a certain item takes up. So this includes an adventure pack with a bedroll, with 2 belt pouches, 10 pieces of chalk, flint and steel, 50 feet of rope, 2 weeks rations, soap, 5 torches, and a water skin. That is your typical adventure pack. I think every kit has that in it. Here it suggests studded leather armor. It has 20 sling bullets in a sling and a dagger for your weapons. You get 2 sets of caltrips. You get alchemical tools and a base or crafting book. So if you remember, we do need those alchemical tools, those alchemist tools. So I think, this is a pretty standard array of equipment. So we can go ahead and buy that. Just get this pop-up that says, this will be added to your inventory, and it'll take away your gold. Okay, so you can see there it simplified our gold. It automatically took it out and gave us the remainder gold here in our app. And you see we have alchemical tools, the backpack, and all the items that it suggested for us. We go over to defense. We have studded leather armor. It's going to give us armor class of 18. We have 15 hit points. So we are trained here. You see Timmel comes up again. Trained, expert, master, and legendary. This applies for our armor class as well. We get a +2 plus our level, plus our dexterity modifier, which is a +3. Plus our item bonus of a +2. So that is going to all add up. You add those plus 10 to make it 18. Ideally, you want to have a dexterity and item bonus. You want to add them together to get a +5 if possible. So +18 is pretty good armor class. 15 hit points is a little low, so we'll have to be careful. You see here we also get expert in our fortitude, so that's a +4 plus our level, and our constitution and our item bonus. We don't have any item bonuses to our saves at this time. So our fortitude +6, our reflex +8, and our will +3. Offense, we have a dagger here, and we also have a sling. You see our perception is up here as well. So we're looking pretty good here. That I like to add for the Alchemist, if you go up here to add weapon, you'll see a whole bunch of other weapons that we could buy if we wanted to, but I'm interested right here in bomb. Okay, so the bomb is, this will give us our status so we can easily see how much bonus we get to throw in a bomb. Now it's gonna, the damage and what happens is gonna vary on what type of bomb we throw, but I think it'll be helpful for us to have eyes on it and know exactly how much we do with that. So we're gonna go ahead and buy it. It's just nothing, it's 0 gold. Okay, so now you can see that we have a bomb down here, which we get a +6 to because we are trained in it, and it uses dexterity. Okay, so dexterity plus our proficiency of trained plus level of 3, that's going to give us a total of +6 to throw in a bomb. We also took thievery skills, so I want to get some thieves tools. So we're going to go to the gear, and we could just type in here up in the search bar thieves tools. Okay, so thieves tools are 3 gold, so we can afford that. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Okay, we have 3 gold and a little extra remaining. We are also trained in medicine, so a healer's kit. Healer's tools are pretty important. Healer's tools. But you'll see they are 5 gold, so we can't afford that. So unfortunately our team is going to have to find other ways to heal themselves. Hopefully we have a healer in the party. Until we can afford that 5 gold, we're not going to be too much help in that arena. I do want to note here on the app that if you use the give button, it gives it to you for free. So if you find it in loot, you're exploring a dungeon and you find some healer's tools, you can click on give and it will give it to your character for free. A lot of progress here in the last few moments, and for some characters we would be done here, but we are an alchemist, and so that means we get some alchemical formulas. So if we remember back in our build section, we get a formula book. Now the formula book, it allows us, it gives us 2 common first level alchemical items of our choice at this first level, and each time you gain a level you add 2 more common alchemical items to the formula book. Alright, so that's 2 there. Plus we had alchemical crafting, and alchemical crafting says that when you select this feat you immediately add the formulas for 4 common first level alchemical items to your formula book. So now we have 6. We have 6 formulas that we can add. Plus, if you remember correctly, we took the bomber research field. To start with, you start with formulas for 2 first level alchemical bombs in your formula book, in addition to the other formulas. So now we have 6 formulas plus 2 bombs, so a total of 8 formulas that we need to plan out here. here on the app, it's actually under spells. Now, don't get confused. An alchemical item is not magical. They just put it in the spells category here. So alchemical formulas, alchemy level 1. We get 5 reagents, but we get a total of 8 formulas. So 2 of those have to be bombs. So let's look at formulas. And right here we have a drop-down menu where we can select what we're looking for. So we're doing bombs right now. And you'll see some color coding here as well. Most of these are going to be common, but things like this have the uncommon trait. And it does specify that they have to be common. So, Alchemist Fire, of course, does fire damage. That's pretty standard one to take. So we're going to accept that. Okay, we're going to add another formula. So we do, there's acid, of course. Bottled lightning. Lightning is fun. I think we should do bottled lightning. Okay, so those are our 2 bombs. So let's go up with 6 more. Now they don't have to be bombs. So let's look at elixirs. We don't have any healer's tools, but we could do some healing elixirs. So we could do antidote or anti-plague, which is helpful. But the elixir of life is sort of a lesser version of a healing potion, but it does give you a bonus against disease, so that is helpful. So let's put that in there. So we'll have that formula as well. Let's look at different let's look at poisons. Let's see if there's any kind of poison that we think might be good for us. Some of these are drugs, actually. Spear frog poison. So let's see what that does. This is an injury poison, so we administer it to our enemies by hurting them. Let's see, it is poison damage, and possibly gets them enfeebled if it goes to stage 2. So I think that's helpful. I might have to do a video on poisons and diseases and stages and how that works. I think it's outside of the realm of this particular video. So we've got 4 formulas so far. Let's go with a frost vial bomb. We like our bombs. And we've got that quick bomber feat, so we're really good at bombs. There's a necrotic bomb, which might be good. Necrotic bomb is common. It does negative damage, so that could be a lot of fun. So let's put that on there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. Let's grab 2 more. Just want to show you some mutagens too. They're under elixirs. So if we take bestial mutagen, you'll see that we get a benefit that we gain a claw unarmed attack, and you get a jaw unarmed attack. But we take a drawback of a -1 penalty to your AC and a -2 penalty to reflex saves. So that's just one example of a mutagen. I think we're going to go with the Cheetah's Elixir. That's going to make us a little bit faster. So let's go with Cheetah Elixir. And let's do one more bomb. Let's do one more bomb. What should we pick for bombs? Let's do acid. Just in case. All right. So we have an acid flask. We've got Alchemist fire, bottle lightning. So we've got acid, fire. We've got lightning. We can go a little bit quicker with the Cheetah Elixir. We've got some healing. We've got our cold damage, and we've got our negative damage, and we've got some poison. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I didn't put too many on there. All right, so I think we are in good shape there. So those are alchemical formulas, and as you see, we have 5 reagents. So you can spend reagents in the morning. With one reagent, you can create 2 of these, a batch, 2 of any one of these items. And then with quick alchemy is in that instant, right? So you can spend 1 reagent and get 1 for 1. So you can see here, advanced. You spend 1 reagent, and it automatically takes it away. So we had 5, it goes to 4. Hit advanced, and now you have 2 available. If you have to do a quick alchemist fire right there on the spot, you need some alchemist fire, and you have reagents, you can do quick. You have 1 available. It takes 1 away, so now we have 3. But that's only good for that one round, so remember you need to use it pretty quickly. But that is how infused reagents work and how the app interplays with that. That often gets forgotten is languages. So we go back over here to About, and we go down here to Languages. Now remember, we get Common and Goblin simply for being a goblin, and we get additional languages based on our intelligence. So we get 4 more languages here. I think things like Halfling is good, and probably Gnome, Elven. We'll probably have some dwarves in our party as well. So it tells you right here, you get 4 bonus languages. So we get the 2 from being Goblin. We get our Goblin in Common, and we get 4 additional. Here you can also put things in like your alignment, gender, deity, your age, fill out a little bit more information about your particular goblin. You can put some notes in here. So this is just a little bit of an overview, but really that's about it for building this character. You can go up here if you want, drop down to hit export character, and you can actually export a character sheet or export stat blocks. So just to show you what that looks like real quickly, here we have a more traditional looking character sheet. As you can see, it has all of your ability modifiers, it has your armor class, all your saving throws, your strikes, and your skills. Has all your feats down here. So this is just a more standard character sheet for your first level character, Bubba the Goblin. I hope this video was informative and helpful. How would you build Bubba the Goblin? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of material, please give me a like and subscribe. I like to do lore videos primarily, but if you want some more instructional videos like this, please let me know. I'd be happy to do some more. Until next time, happy gaming.